Hello, May class, and welcome to your next science lesson. In today's lesson, we are going to be continuing what we have been looking at previously. In our previous lesson, we were looking at changes to an environment that can be dangerous to living things. So we were looking at how we could reverse some of these changes, and we went through things like urbanization, global warming, intensive farming, nature reserves, and we looked at what we could do and what impact these would have on the community. So in today's lesson, we are going to look at how we can make positive changes to a local environment and use evidence to answer questions about why they are making these changes. Right, so by the end of today, you should be able to plan how to make positive changes to a small local area. You should consider the people who may use the area and think about how they might use it. You consider the other living things who may use the area, and you're going to draw a plan of how they would change a local environment for the better. So, the local environment that we are going to be looking at today is Black Park. So Black Park covers over 500 acres of woodlands, heathlands, and open space in South Buckinghamshire. With family-friendly attractions such as the Adventure Playground, Go Ape, and miles of beautiful woodland tracks and trails and opportunities for wildlife spotting, the park offers something for everyone to enjoy. And hopefully it's a park that everyone has visited, whether it be to Go Ape, or the Adventure Playground, or to enjoy walking around, looking at the wildlife. Hopefully you've all had an opportunity to see it or you know of it. So Black Park has a rich filming history as well and is often used as a location, so a place where big and small productions, so things like TV shows and movies, are filmed in locations like Black Park. And this means that there are sometimes temporary closures of paths or woodland compartments. So sometimes some of the areas in the park are closed off because they are being used for filming. Right, this is a bird's eye view. So if you were a bird flying in the air and you were looking down on Black Park, this is what you would see. So that's what we mean by bird's eye view. On this map as well, you've got a key down here that then links to things that are here. So each one of these little symbols tells you where something like a picnic table is, or toilets, or something like that. And it provides you with information on what Black Park offers. Right, your task today is going to be the following. You are going to be redesigning the area that is Black Park and changing it for the better. To do this, we're going to take time to properly explore the area. If you live nearby, hopefully you can go and visit it. If you don't live nearby like me, we can use Google Earth to explore it and think about what changes we could make to make it better for the environment, for everyone that is in that area. And you can ask yourself the following questions. Does it look different in the winter? What is there in Black Park now? Does any living thing use the space? So what living things would you find in the space? Does it have any positive impact as it is now? So what things has Black Park got that make it better for living things within it that have a positive impact? Is there any water nearby? Is there a dangerous road? Does it have sunlight or is it in the shade? Who walks past this space? Whose window overlooks this space? Okay, so I'm going to share with you a Google Maps or Google Earth view of Black Park. So you can see this is reaching and showing you Black Park. And if you remember, we can actually drag our little person in here so that we can have a bird's eye view of Black Park. And maybe you want to walk around, maybe you want to take a little trip and see what's in here. So we could go along, have a look on the sides, how it's structured. right? Remember what we spoke about with the urbanization? Are animals like hedgehogs able to move around freely? Are there things that could be quite dangerous for them? Is there a way we can make it better? Do things need fixing? Let's zoom out a little bit, or let's see a slightly different view. Zoom out. Okay, we can carry on, and you could drag your little man somewhere else. So could we drag it there? Okay, I can see that we've got large areas. There's some water. Okay, so just have a look at the area itself. Think about what we spoke about when we were looking at what were positive changes and negative changes that could be done in the environment. So I'm going to go back to our slideshow. I'm going to go through the questions, and then we can just, or your tasks for the day, and then we can discuss maybe where we could start with them. So what you're going to do is design Black Park. You're going to draw your own bird's eye view of the area and draw and label the things that you would include. What would you include in Black Park to make it better? I want you to write down a list of resources that you would need to order in order to make these changes possible. So do you need maybe wood for the fences? Do you need signposts for walking trails? Do you need maybe little holes in the fences, making sure the animals can get through, or wide fences that allow animals to walk under them or walk through, and not, for example, metal fences that they couldn't get through? And you're going to explain your plan on a video or in a small paragraph of how would you design Black Park to make it better. So here is obviously a bird's eye view of the park. And if we zoom into it, let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, you can see some of the things that they've already got in here. We have a careful look. We've got a crossroads. There are dog bins. Would you put more dog bins? Would we have less picnic areas, more picnic areas? Would you still include the adventure playground? Would you have more car parks? Would you have less car parks? Would you allow dogs? Would you not allow dogs? Would you include more cafes? So if you have a look at this area here, there's far less that's been built up here. A lot of the things that you can go to, like Go Ape and the open spaces for picnics, are in this area. Would you make them throughout Black Park? So these are all kinds of things you can think of. Would you put more toilets? But again, with more toilets means more foot traffic, because more people would walk that far. Would you be cutting down more trees to make space for these kinds of things? And this is obviously the boundary, so you can have a look. Would you have more paths for segways and things like that that go with the adventure playground? Would you maybe do something on the lake that could be more active so people can do more activities on the lake? Would you have less activities and more walking areas for the people? So these are all things that you can think about when we are looking at our tasks. So I want you to think, I just need to zoom out. I want you to think about all of this when you are redesigning Black Park. How would you change it to make it better? Okay, and we spoke about positive and negative changes that you could make. So we spoke about what we could do to help. You could go back and have a look at maybe you have a litter committee, that there's people that walk around and pick up all the litter. Do you have more rubbish bins that allow people to throw their litter into, so there's less pollution, right? Do we have space for small animals that allows them to roam freely? Do we make sure we don't cut down too many trees so that that we have enough trees for our animals? Do we do away with Go Ape? Do we keep it? So these are all things that you need to think about how you would redesign it and make it better. Okay, and what does that mean? Do we add more? Do we take less away? This is all something that you need to think about. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the questions. So think about, does it look different in winter? What is already there now? We've briefly discussed that. Would you keep all of that? Would you add more? Would you take away things? Right? What animals live in Black Park? Are the buildings and the activities that are in Black Park, do they affect the animals that live there? Right? Would we build something to make it better for them? Right? All right, so these are all things that you can think about. And obviously your challenges are to draw Black Park from a bird's eye view. So you can go back to the map and try and draw that, including obviously labels of things that you would include or you would have in Black Park if you were to design it differently. You'd write down a list of resources. So if you were going to have a litter committee, you would think you need things to pick up litter, you need more rubbish bins, all of those kinds of things. And you would then, in a short paragraph or a short video, explain your plan to myself and to anyone else that were to read what you've written or to see your plans. Don't forget to share your work with us on Tapestry. Please make sure that it is loaded onto Tapestry by 4 p.m. this afternoon.